I can state that I was at the show on Saturday at the Sandpit Arena, and not once did Trevor say, "What do you get from hanging in trees?" So arms.
I was trying to understand what was happening there. I was like, have I said these things?
No, we were auditioning jokes for you.
I know, but for a moment I was like, because it was like you played a real clip of something that happened. You played something else and then I was like, wait, is this my career? And I just haven't been paying attention.
Anele and the club
on 947.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Good morning. We are glad you're here. Welcome.
Yeah, guys. I can't let the same thing happen to me twice. I still say that they're the same problems. So I have a pitch before we go any further.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Because, Anele, I've seen here at the breakfast team, you guys make magic happen. So why don't you guys start an initiative with corporates and fundraising and whatever in South Africa? Why don't you make all of the traffic lights solar powered? Guys, a traffic light doesn't need that much power, right? And they're not connected to each other. So it's not like they're running on some centralized network. You just get them all solar powered. It only costs a few $1,000 per traffic light. We have sun all the time in Joburg.
So they have tried this.
They have tried. Didn't Investec do that?
Yeah, but they steal the solar because obviously at the top of the solar is the solar charging thingy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sip tea.
Is that what it's called?
Now I'm just gonna sip tea.
A solar chargy thingy.
No, man, you can't be serious. There's not even enough. What are you stealing that for? There's not enough solar anything from that thing.
They steal VW emblems. What's a solar thing?
Yeah, but that's different.
Nothing's safe.
That's different. Even me back in the day, if you sold me a VW emblem, I was buying it. VW, Mercedes-Benz. That's different.
Are you talking about your criminal past here on the show?
Anele, please. Alleged criminal past.
Listen, I want to say something. I went to go see you at the Sandpit Arena on Saturday night,
Thank you,
right?
friend.
And I bought my tickets, just by the way.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Let the
You
record
didn't
stand.
have to, but you did, which I appreciate.
Thank you.
Not one, huh?
And I bought 20 tickets.
Not one. Truly not one.
And I took all my friends,
Yes.
right? It is the best I've seen you.
Thank you.
Do you feel like you are at your best now when it comes to comedy? Because one thing I remember when you left the Daily Show, you
Yes.
said to me, Anele, I want to become the best comedian in the world. Not
Yeah.
not the wealthiest, not the one whose shows are
No,
attended
I want
the
to
most.
I want to do the best possible comedy that I can do.
Okay.
And you know better than anyone. The time you're spending on something is the time you're not spending on something else. Right?
Yes.
So the Daily Show is the perfect example. That show took up so much of my time that my comedy had to take some sort of a backseat, whether I like it or not. You know, so even if you think you're giving 100%, it's like those people who have like 5 children and you're like, oh, I love them all equally. You think you do.
Yeah, but it's not possible.
Even if you love them equally, how many parts divided by? 5.
Right.
Yeah, one. So when you're a parent that has one child, you've got more there. And so it's as simple as that. I've just cut down how many children I have now.
Now there's a family now currently driving, and they're all looking at each other.
Which one is the one getting the time?
They're looking at the mom, and then they're looking at each other, and they're like 1, 2, first born, second born, third born, and if you're the fifth one, you're like,
No, but it's true, guys. It's true.
So now comedy is now officially your firstborn again.
Yes, comedy is my firstborn again.
Because you look like you were having so much fun on stage.
I'm trying. I'm enjoying myself. And also, can I tell you, doing comedy in South Africa is my favorite place to do comedy.
Why is that?
We've got flavor, guys. We've got you know snit juice, man. We've got like we've got spices. We've got things that you know. It's like even languages. Like danko and things that you just like think. You have 11 languages that are combining into one way of communicating, and the way we sound, speak, dance, move. All these things.
I hear what you're saying, because on Saturday at the Sandpit, I almost found like the crowd were giving you an energy. Like as much as we weren't talking to you,
definitely.
we were in. There was
it's a conversation.
Yes, there was a communication between us and you and all of that.
Definitely.
And there was a point when I thought you were never gonna get off stage because you were just having so much fun.
I was having the time of my life, honestly. It was the final show, and it's been amazing. Everywhere has been fantastic. And I never take it for granted. That's the biggest thing for me is I never assume people will come to my show. I never assume that they're going to have a good show. And so I give 100% every single time. I go, this could be the last show. This one could be the last show. This one could be. It was too much fun, guys.
So you're going to add more dates. I mean, because I see.
Where?
You added more dates to your tour, not in South Africa.
Oh, not in South Africa, no. I thought you were just telling me now. You're going to add more. I was like, yo, this is those Anele surprises in the morning. You're going to add more dates, Trevor. Tonight there's another show we added for you. Anele, whoa, Anele, whoa.
I want to know, because obviously you're doing hundreds of shows across the world, right?
Yes.
And like you say, everyone, you're treating it like it's your last. This could be your last show.
Yes.
That's amazing, man.
I'm having fun though. I'm having fun. You know, it's different. It's tiring. You know, living out of a suitcase gets tiring after a while. So I think the current tour is slated to end around May. But I mean, we've ended it a few years previously. So it's never really ended.
Right.
But the next one's going to be exciting because now I go to India. And that'll be my first time performing in India. So we do Delhi, Bengaluru, and then Bombay. That's going to be fun.
And wait, when you drop tickets, like you're saying, it's the first time you're going to India, are you not panicked that nobody's going to buy them? You're like, yo.
Like 20 people.
Because the thing is like...
No, I'm always panicked. Guys, you can't assume. Why would I just assume that someone in India is buying the tickets?
Because I look at, the arenas that you're posting, right?
Yes.
Across
Massive.
the world. It's massive. And it's people. It's just like, Trevor's big in Sweden, right?
And they also like, where are these people coming from that are going to watch Trevor Noah?
Yes, but you must remember, for me, when I go to the arena, it's empty. So I'm standing there just like, well, I hope these chairs have people in them by the time the show starts.
Listen, on the way, taking a step away from the Daily Show. Thank you for that, so that we can get him back fully as a comedian. But Spotify said that he is going to get a podcast. And I was like, yes! I've always wanted to name somebody's podcast. Right? And this is the thing. Every day I'm like...
Wait, is this a real thing? You've always wanted to name it?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Always.
Okay.
But every idea I've given you, just like, nah.
No, I don't say it like that.
Why do you say it like that?
No, I'll say, okay. No, I'm never that person, guys. You'll never pitch me a thing where I give you low negative energy.
It's high negative.
It's not even negative.
So my suggestion...
It's positive, but not accepted.
Chitty Chatty Trevor?
I heard that one the other day. And I like the idea.
Oh, there you go.
But I think it eliminates most, if not all, of the audience.
So it's a no then.
I just got shot down by Trevor Noah.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
084 00947. Send us a voice note. Trevor's got a podcast, right? When are you launching the Spotify podcast?
We're going to be launching the podcast at a time to be determined.
In the future.
I don't know if I'm allowed to. You know these things where it's like,
true.
you know, it's like, I think I know when it's launching. And then now if I say something now, then they'll be like, you weren't supposed to say something. And then I'm like, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to say something. And now you've said something.
Now everyone in LA is awake now. Spotify like Trevor.
Now people are phoning me. Well, Trevor, hey, we didn't. Hey, well, we never press release and release. Then they'll be like that. Damn chitty chatty Trevor.
We can pitch the podcast names. We don't know when the podcast is going to come out. It's going to be on Spotify, but we'll tell you the day it does. But right now, it's basically Shark Tank and everybody's pitching their names. We've said no to Chitty Chatty with Trevor Noah.
I'm so sad about that, but I respect his decision.
No, it's fine.
We didn't say no. We just said it is not the one we will be choosing right now.
Or ever.
Someone knows how to say.
Why ever? Yo.
Okay, so do we have the suggestions? Roll them.
I would name Trevor's podcast as Trev No on the Go.
I think a very nice name for Trevor's podcast would be In Trevor's Words.
How about Do You Really Want to Know?
I think Trevor should keep it proudly South African and call it Tune.
So I'm thinking Noah's Notes with Trevor.
The More You Know Her. Noah podcast.
My dad and I think it should be Know It with Noah.
Anything from there strike your fancy?
So I think the best one from that list was The More You Know Her. Was that one? One of them?
Know It with Noah.
No. There's another one.
Noah.
The More You Know Her.
The More You Know Her.
Yeah, I think that was.
That's cool.
I think that was the best one of the ones that were suggested.
Okay.
Which one did you like the best?
No, I just think.
You see, you know what they need to invent for radio is something where you can see Anele's face.
Yes, a lot of people say that.
They need to invent that. You know how you have it on your radio where now you can see the song. You can see the song that's playing.
Yes.
They need to invent radios now where they can just it just draws like a face of what's happening with the host.
Expression.
Just so we can see your face when some of these suggestions and things come true. Like I wish I could have seen your face when that person was doing the quiz earlier and their family was just saying pass.
Who's Prince Harry's brother? Pass.
But I love that they brought people to help them to say pass. That was my favorite thing. Who did you come with? I brought all of these people. What are they going to do? Yeah, they're going to tell me to skip it.
Skip. He literally got 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's of the ones.
The More You Know Her sounds a bit dirty.
Yo.
No.
I don't know where you got that from.
No, doesn't it sound like you?
Wow.
We're talking extramural activities.
Wow.
The more you know.
Wow.
Like it's Trevor's sex ed.
Yes.
Wow,
10 episodes of Trevor's sex ed.
Although that's a good podcast.
I'd listen.
Get this game on the line.
Goodness gracious.
So, okay, the more you know is the one that's going to go. Listen, we've got like this WhatsApp line, right? And people just send us problems to it all the time.
That's called WhatsApp.
This is true.
So you experience it on your phone as well.
This
All right.
is true. But there's nobody asking you for money here. No one's loaning money.
Oh, okay, on your line.
Yes, on our
Oh,
line.
so I need that WhatsApp.
You can take our WhatsApp
I want to
number.
upgrade to that WhatsApp.
That's why you come to us.
Okay.
So Dumi sent us a voice note. Have a listen to this and we want you to weigh in on it.
I love it.
Hey guys, Dumi here. My husband started getting his body and pubic area fully waxed. Before that, he used to shave or trim his body hair himself. I asked him who is doing it and he said it was a lady. I was weirded out by that and asked him to rather go to a man and he said that would be weird for him.
Okay, so is she overreacting by wanting her husband to go get waxed by another man?
So this is an interesting one because I'm assuming, for the sake of this conversation, that he's getting waxed everywhere.
Yes.
Because let's start with all of the the possible parameters, right? We just go like all the permutations. If he's not getting waxed fully, then I don't think this is a problem for him.
So if it's just the legs?
No, if he's just getting like body wax, but nothing, no parts.
No, it's the parts.
Okay, so if we're including the parts, I still don't think there's a problem. However, whoever husband has put himself in a predicament. He's given himself away in some way, shape, or form. Because husband has two options here. If he's saying it would be weird for him to go to a man, what he's then in some way saying is that there needs to be some sort of attraction or opposite sexual person who's doing the thing, because then it wouldn't be weird to go to a man.
Yes, because
you get what I'm saying?
He wants his nether regions to be handled by a woman.
Yes,
at all
handled
times.
by a woman.
Yes.
Yes. So he either, and I think his wife is, maybe from the wife's side, I can see Dumi saying, why does it need to be a woman? And I can see from your side, Dumi, you may be thinking that he wants it to be a woman because
he's more comfortable.
It's more, but even more sexy and all these things. But then on the other side, I think husband needs to ask himself why he's afraid of a man doing this job for him.
Would you mind a man waxing you in your parts?
So I wouldn't wax anything of anything. It doesn't matter who you are, what gender, anything, where you are on the spectrum. I do not need waxing from anybody.
Never tried it.
Waxing? I've done a strip. You know where someone did it on like a leg or arm thing?
Like a test?
Yeah, you know when they did, because someone was doing waxing and then I was like, let me see what that's like. And then I was like, there are parts of my body that never need to experience this ever. And now I'm more interested by the husband there, where I'm like, so that glue goes where?
And they put it right in your crack, eh?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you think your bum's gonna stick together.
Guys, I can't even handle like very, very scratchy toilet paper. And now someone's going to be there ripping off basically double-sided tape.
Yes.
From inside our guys.
And it's sensitive down there, right?
Guys, that's why I'll tell the wife, I'll be like, if you think sexual things are happening with this waxing.
Oh, there we go. Is that there's nothing sexual
There's
here.
nothing sexual
it's
here,
actually
guys.
pain.
There is nothing. Let me put it this way, Dumi. If your husband comes back smooth, then you have nothing to worry about.
All right. It's when there's actual stuff left.
If there's anything left, I would tell him he should leave and he needs to find another waxer.
Okay, there we go. Dumi, you heard that? Let's hear Terence's one.
Hi guys, Terence here. So we have new neighbors who have moved in up the road from our house. These people have decided to grow millies outside of their house on the pavement. I mean, if they did it in their own garden, I wouldn't mind. But now it's an eyesore on the pavement.
So they, like Sandhurst.
Okay.
On the road.
Okay.
Who
is this person? What is his name?
Terence.
This is Terence.
So, Terence, I don't know what millies you've seen. I don't think there's any millie that's an eyesore.
No, it's when they go because they die. The plants must die, and then it's brown,
guys,
and then
grass dies as well. And then what happens to it? It becomes brown and patchy.
Yeah.
So why would millies be an eyesore? I think that's beautiful, actually.
Thank you. That's what I
imagine
said.
Imagine if we had a city where everyone was planting vegetables outside their yard, and then when you go past, you can just pick what you need. We can all take something there.
Like a community.
Community garden.
And then rats come because the millies attract the rats.
But rats
guys, rats are there everywhere. You're making it like there's no rats. Now you're making it like we invented rats with millies.
Why are you guys fighting with me? I'm not Terence.
No,
I'm just
but
saying.
you're there defending Terence. You came in here.
I'm asking.
Advocate for Terence.
I'm asking if your neighbors had a big like.
But he said it was an eyesore. He didn't talk about rats. You're putting things into the equation here that are not in the equation.
Terence is just upset that
he's saying it's an eyesore. That's what he's saying. And he's saying if it was in the yard, he wouldn't have a problem. Ergo, the rats are not his issue. It is just how the millie looks. Now, Terence, I don't think you're crazy. Let me say that. But I do think we have an incorrect idea of what a good yard looks like. In fact, scientists have shown over the past few decades, and I think this really kicked off in America when it was the whole, do your yard after the World War and all those things.
Right.
We've actually started to hurt birds and insects and like a healthy ecosystem by having these fresh cut lawns that are always low, and it's actually not good. You're supposed to let your grass grow up, and there's supposed to be biodiversity. It's a whole thing. Don't worry, I read books. Don't worry.
And you're supposed to have a scarecrow in your yard as well.
Right. Next to the millies.
Do you not miss interviewing people? Okay, what? Let me ask this again. What aspects of the Daily Show do you miss?
No, okay. When you know why? I think I miss interviewing people who are honest and say interesting things. Yes. I think sometimes you're interviewing people and all they want to do is push a product. You know what that's like.
Yes. So
now it's not a conversation. Like here, I'll do a quick example with you. Interview me now. Ask me anything in an interview.
What did you eat this morning?
Well, this morning I just thought about eating healthy things. Because the podcast is coming out. I got to keep myself healthy, Anele. Keep my brain strong. Ask me another question.
All right. So when you landed in South Africa, what's the first thing you did?
Anele, there's so many things that I love about this country, and I talk about it on the podcast actually. And so when I landed, all I could think about is, man, there's so many things for the podcast that you see. It's like that.
But we always say that we don't want to talk to you to push a product.
No.
If the interview is interesting enough and we have fun, people will naturally want to go and find out where they can get more of you off, right? But now, obviously, then you would have like a Kerry Washington or Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, yeah. No, that's different.
That's different.
No, that's different because they give themselves. It becomes a conversation.
Yeah.
We get to talk. You get to indulge. You get the inner workings of how they do what they do. They tell you fun stories about things happening behind the scenes. I think that's fun. I miss that.
Because every time you interviewed Barack Obama, it wasn't like he was pushing a presidential campaign.
That's what I like. He wasn't selling.
With him.
It would be funny if he was. No, he wasn't like selling the thing. Trevor, got to be president again. Got to be. Want to buy selling my presidential shirts. Trevor, you want to buy those? Come on.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take the questions that you've asked your guests and we're going to flip them around.
Oh, boy.
And then you must answer. Because there's sometimes when you ask a question, I'd be like, I'd actually like for Trevor to answer that question.
Yeah, I want to know what he says.
Okay, so here's the first one.
You have been very wealthy for a long time. You've worked hard to get there. I often wonder how much normalcy there still is in your life. Like how many normal random things happen to you? When was the last time your phone ran out of battery while you were speaking?
So, okay. Who was I asking that to?
Oprah.
Oh, okay. That sounds right. Okay, for myself, when was the last time my phone ran out of battery? Last night, literally last night. Phone ran out of battery while I was on a conversation. Normal random things. So you know this about me. Actually, I have a witness in Anele. Guys, I try to live the most normal life possible for myself because I enjoy living a life. And I think a lot of people don't realize, especially in like celebrity worlds, in Hollywood, I've seen people where they get so detached that they don't understand why they become depressed because they live isolated. So
is it important for you to not be detached, especially because you're a comedian and you have to be observant?
But even beyond that, I just want to live as a person. So I'm that guy. You're gonna bump into me in Checkers, guys. I'm there.
This is true.
Buying things, and then now people act like I'm crazy for being there. Trevor,
and the Checkers.
What are you doing here, guys? I'm buying things. Hi, Trevor.
Because when you moved into your house, you went to go buy your own iron and your own ironing, but I was like, no, I'll get that for you. And
guys,
it's like, no, I'll get my own iron.
You know why? Because I want to know what things cost. I want to know what it's like to stand in the line. I want to know what traffic is like. I want to understand. Because now when I'm driving, trying to get to the show in the morning, and I'm in load shedding plus traffic
You're
plus
part
everything.
of us.
Yes. Then I go like, okay, I understand what's happening. So for myself, I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm like, I don't understand why people are complaining. then it's like, how did you get here, Trevor? With my helicopter.
But doesn't it get frustrating? I mean, because obviously everyone knows you. So don't you, like, if you're in the checkers, everyone wants the photo. Doesn't that get a lot?
Can I tell you, I'll be honest with you, I think most South Africans are actually wonderful about that. Because South Africans aren't fame obsessed.
Right.
We didn't grow up with celebrity culture in this country. So I find most South Africans, like kids, I'll almost never say no to a kid. Almost never. Unless I'm rushing and I have to get somewhere. Then if I'm going somewhere, I have to get somewhere, you know? If I'm in an airport and I'm chasing a flight, I can't stop and just take pictures. But otherwise, yes, let's go. You know what I'm saying? But like people in South Africa will be cool. They just be like, Trevor, hey, and it's just a conversation. Hey, you back? Hey, Trevor, what's going on? What's happening? We can do those things. I love it.
You have been very... Two things again. One, if democracy and freedom are things that everybody wishes to have, why does it seem like the world is moving away from that?
Right.
And then secondly, what can we do or why should we then try get back to this democracy?
Oh, that was probably to Barack Obama.
Yes, it was.
I don't think I'd be asking that question to random people. That's an interesting one for me to answer. So my answer to the question is this. I think we oftentimes take for granted that democracy works best, or democracy has the best chance of succeeding and yielding the best results when the people who are voting in a democracy are best represented by the power that document
they voted in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we take for granted what democracy is supposed to be. It is people choosing who are going to lead, who's going to change, who's going to make the country what it is. And then whenever we see democracies failing around the world, we don't ask ourselves what was happening in that democracy before it failed. We just go, there's a revolution, people burned the streets. Then you're like, but who just burns a street?
Yeah, what are those people feeling to get? Because these are the normal voters.
Have you guys noticed there's never a riot in Sandton?
No.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Have you noticed people are never there burning things in Camps Bay?
Because the services they work.
Yeah, the residents of Camps Bay are never going out into the streets and burning down their own houses. Have you asked yourselves why?
Yeah.
Because when they complain about something happens. When the residents of Sandton complain about something happens. Potholes get fixed, electricity gets changed, things get moved around, roads get paved, you name it.
Sewerage is working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think this is what people don't understand about democracy as a whole, is that like democracy, it only works when people feel like when they vote, something happens for them. Otherwise, at some point, people are like, why am I voting? Because no matter who I vote for, what I vote for, my life is the same. And then they're like, I don't care about democracy. And that's when you get leaders who sneak in saying, I can fix everything, just leave it to me. I know who to blame. And then we get angry when those people get in power because we're like, who would vote for them? People who are angry about what's happening.
Right.
Also, like our point of departure when we're voting shouldn't be from anger, because that's what happens.
It shouldn't be. I don't think it should be.
That's very true.
That's very profound.
That's very
because if you
true.
vote, it's almost like going to bed angry.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? In a relationship, like if you and I, Frankie, are dating and we are basing everything that our decisions come from anger, it can't end up good for our relationship.
Yeah, you got to vote for who you think is going to do a job.
Yes.
Regardless of the color of the party or whatever the story is.
Okay, next one.
Comic to comic now. Forming in front of, what was it, 54,000 people?
53.
Thank you. How do you tell a joke?
That was Kevin Hart.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've never performed. Actually, have I?
What's the biggest crowd you performed to?
The biggest crowd I've performed to, I think, was actually when it was Global Citizen, when Beyonce and Jay-Z were doing the thing, because I was hosting.
Yes.
Yes, I was hosting Global
100,000
Citizen.
people?
Is it 100,000 at Soccer City?
Yeah.
97 or something?
Yeah, it's tough. It's very, very tough. Because the space is so big that by the time you finish the sentence, let's say you say something, and then as the sentence is finishing, the people at the back of the stadium are hearing the beginning of the sentence. So there's a long delayed wave of what's happening. And then on top of that, when I was on stage, people are waiting for Beyonce. It's very difficult to tell jokes when people are waiting for, when you're there on stage, they're like, hey guys, have you ever noticed how you are wasting our time? We're waiting for Beyonce.
But wait, because I remember Dave Chappelle coming into your room, right,
Yes.
at Global Citizen to ask to get advice from you. He's like, hey, Trevor, so I'm gonna go out there. I'm introducing Jay-Z and Beyonce. Now, how do I do it? And you just like, quickly, my man.
Hey, my man, it's funny you say that with Dave. I've called him at times. All comedians, we have like this circle. I've called Dave Chappelle sometimes. I remember when I was in Germany, I was like, yo, you've been here. What's the rhythm? What's the vibe? But it really is. The bigger the room, the harder it is to do comedy, surprisingly.
Because I remember when you did the shows at the Dome.
Yeah, those were hard.
Those were very hard because
acoustically, everything.
Yeah.
Yes, it's better to have cars inside there than people.
And what do you think of the venue, Sunbet Arena? Because I think that
Can I
worked
tell you,
wonders.
Guys, it is a world-class arena.
Amazing.
Truly a world. And those are things, sorry to go off on a tangent, but those are the things where I go, guys, do not nyatsa South Africa. For those who don't know, nyatsa means to take for granted or to minimize. Do not guys, we can do things here, man.
We are doing things.
Class, and not world class like, no, it's trying. No. It's one of my favorite arenas in the whole world.
That's crazy.
You have 8,000 people and you feel like you're in a comedy club with 400 people.
Exactly.
No, guys. It's
it
amazing.
Felt so intimate on Saturday.
Really does. It really does.
I felt like we're all laughing at the same time.
It really does. I watched Kevin Hart when he was there and I was like, this seems fun on the audience side. I was sitting in the audience.
Yeah.
And then now when I was performing, I was like, yeah, it's exactly what I hoped it would be.
That's amazing.
You get bored of people asking you to freestyle in real life?
Do you get bored of people asking you to tell jokes in real life?
Do you feel pressure to be funny?
Who did I ask that to?
Lin-Manuel.
Oh, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yeah. I don't feel pressure. No, I don't. Because I'm like, guys, it's my job. But it does get at some point. So here's the thing that's interesting. It depends on which country you're in. In many countries around the world, people will expect or ask me for a joke. That can get very boring and very tedious very quickly, you know? So you're checking into a flight or something, they'll be like, do you have any jokes with you? Oh, you're going to tell us some jokes, Mr. Noah?
On the flight?
Everywhere.
Okay.
It happened everywhere. What I find interesting, I love it most of the time in South Africa. Here, nobody asks me for a joke. But everyone thinks because it's me, they must turn the situation into a joke.
Okay.
Oh, so everyone's trying to be funny.
Most of the time it's fun.
Right.
Most of the time. But guys, I remember being in hospital here. You remember when I was doing the vocal cord surgery?
Yes.
I remember being in hospital. And then like literally there, people are making jokes. Like the nurse walks in the room and then I couldn't even say anything. And then she's like, oh, Trevor, hey, the surgery didn't go well.
You don't have a voice.
Then I'm there like my whole brain's like, what? Then she's like, just joking. And I'm like, guys, you can't, that's not like how, I don't do pranks, guys. I do comedy. That's a prank. And this is my life.
Didn't that happen when your mom got shot and then you got to the hospital and you're like, hi, I'm here to see my mom. She got shot. They're like, she died.
No.
Just joking.
No, I'm trying to think of where something like that happened. Yes. Someone said something like that.
Yes.
Guys, guys, people tell jokes where I'm like, I'll cry. This is not a joke that what?
You don't have a voice anymore.
You think people died in my life as a joke? Then they're like, it's a joke. Then I'm like, no, what? Come on, Trevor, you don't see the funny side.
No, I don't.
No, because you're a pilot. Yeah, but it was fun when I said we're going down, eh? No, it wasn't fun. The whole plane was screaming. Yeah, but you're going to remember this, eh? Yeah. Yes, I will remember this. And I'm never going to fly with this airline ever again.
Hey, but at least Fly Safe is on time, okay? Final question.
What is the biggest thing that has stuck out to you in New York City?
The biggest thing that has stuck out to me in New York City is we think cities get their names just for like fun, and a lot of them do. Guys, New York does not sleep. And not like it just doesn't sleep. Like, guys, it does. Picture the worst traffic you know.
Times it by 20.
And picture it every day, all the time.
Loud.
24/7.
Baby.
3 a.m. traffic. 6 a.m. traffic. There'll be one moment here or there where there's no... Guys, New York is no joke. All the time, everywhere you go, non-stop, relentless. No one looks at it, no one talks. I've never been in a city with more people that can make you feel like you're more alone. It's pretty wild. It is pretty wild. No one looks at anyone. No one. There's no like Sanbonani. There's no Uchandit. No nothing.
I find it to be an upbeat city, but not a friendly city.
No. There's no group anything that's happening there. It's really. But I have been to few places in the world that will rally together when something goes wrong, like New York. Storms. Attacks, anything, you name it. I have not seen a place where like people come together in New York. When things are going wrong, New Yorkers are like, all right, let's do this.
Okay, let's get together now.
They're like, we're doing this.
It's almost like that family member where you don't really like each other, but no one's allowed to say anything bad about you. It's like, I'm the only one.
Literally that.
Yeah, I'm the only one who's allowed to say something bad about Frankie because he's my brother.
Yes.
Don't you think you're going to come up here and speak about Frankie?
Yes.
But I can do it as much as I want.
No, that's really it.
Okay, so you say you're off to India.
I'm off to India.
Today.
No, tomorrow. Well, I don't even know what day of the week it is. Waking up early is tough on my brain.
Monday.
It's today Monday. So we have more of Monday left now.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay, cool. So Monday, Yeah, tomorrow I'll go to India. If you have suggestions, you must let me know. You must ask your listeners.
No, we've never been to India.
You've never been?
No.
Why didn't you come with me?
No, because I'm busy.
Did you just ask the one whose job this is
Yes.
if she can just pack up tomorrow and go with you?
Well, you see, you said pack up. I don't know why you made things negative. I said, why didn't she come with me? You guys are making it like you can't do your show from anywhere. We could have done the show
from India.
Yeah, just on the road in India. We could be there. You want to do traffic? Do it in India. Yeah, the whole show will just be the traffic report. 3 hours of traffic and one Harry Styles song. Thanks so much for listening in. That was us, 94.7.
We out of here. And finally, Trevor Noah, are you happy?
I'm happy. But more importantly, I try to be at peace, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's how I define my happiness, is to try and find peace. And I think it's just a balance of expectation versus reality, you know?
Why is that?
Well, the thing I've noticed in life is where you situate yourself and where you think you're going to be are often the things that define how you feel, you know? So if you think you're going to catch a flight and then the flight gets delayed or you miss it, you're now sad or depressed. But if you thought that you weren't going to get the flight, but then you catch it, now all of a sudden you're excited.
You're excited.
Nothing has changed in your brain or in your body or in your anything.
It's still the same flight.
It's still the same everything. It's all just your expectation versus reality. And so I don't live in a world where I'm devoid of like the context of what we're living in.
But you lower your expectations.
I try all the time. In a wonderful way as well. Like if you say to me, let's have lunch, I expect there's a possibility that the lunch won't happen and you won't show up or something will happen, but not in a bad way. I'm just like, maybe it won't happen. So if you call me and say lunch is off, then I'm like, I knew there was a possibility that might happen. And can I tell you, I live a wonderful life. I expect every flight to be delayed, every flight. I expect traffic on every journey.
No,
but the thing that happened
that's a very negative.
It's not negative. It's positive.
It's not.
Guys, it's positive.
You've got to.
You're literally saying you're living to expect disappointment.
Guys. You see, disappointment. You can't expect. My thing doesn't involve disappointment. I'm expecting the possibility of a thing not going in the direction that I hope. That means I'm not disappointed. So disappointment is your expectation not being met.
So you're saying, if I get you right, you're saying that you're choosing to experience it as it goes instead of willfully trying to get it there.
I'm acknowledging that there is a possibility. So the other day when I'm running to your show, guys, I would not be running in the streets smiling and like, I don't know what's going to happen. I expect to get to Anele's show. I hope there, but I know there's something that might happen. Now, did I think... So, for instance, did I think a guy was just going to pick me up who you thought was going to kidnap me, but he brought me to the show? I didn't think that would happen. Made my day better.
Right.
Just try it. Try it. If you're a parent, expect that your kids are not going to listen when you tell them to do something. No, I'm not saying accept it. Expect it. You'll see how your brain changes. If you work in an office, expect that one of your co-workers is going to say something or do something that's going to push you the wrong way. You're going to see how your day changes. I'm not saying think the worst. I'm just saying expect the possibility that maybe things will not go the way you wished for them to go, and you will notice how you are limiting how much disappointment you experience, and you're living in a world where now you get to just enjoy life as it unfolds.
So you expect no one to come to your shows and then 10,000 people show up.
I honestly,
surprise.
I don't expect anybody to buy a ticket. I hope that they do, and I'm so happy and grateful when they do. But I don't expect anything in that way.
It's interesting, eh? This is what we're going to get on the podcast.
I know you have to leave. I know you have to leave, but I'll put it this way. Actually, the selling tickets is a great example.
Yeah.
I remember thinking this one day. I was chatting to a comedian. I even forget who it was. We're in New York and we're having this conversation. And this comedian was sad, like actually sad. And I was like, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, we're struggling to sell tickets. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, we're at a theater. It seats 4,000 people. And he's like, we haven't sold out. We've sold 3,600 tickets, 3,600. And I said, literally in that moment, I said, do you ever think for a second how crazy it is that there was a time in our lives as comedians when we would have dreamed to sell 1,000 tickets. But now because you increased the size of the venue has told you that it's not full. But if you had put this show in a 3,000 seater, you would have sold it out in a 1,000 seater, you would have sold it out 3 times and had 600 people waiting outside. You would have said it's the most successful show of your life.
Right.
And so all I'm saying in life is just leave room for the possibility that things will not go the way that you want them to, and then you will live a life that has a lot less disappointment and depression.
That's Chitty Chatty with Trevor Noah.
Wonderful. Can't wait for the Spotify version of this. Thank you very much.
Anele and the Club
on 947.